Ready to move?
How can we be sure this experiment's gonna work anyway?
We cannot.
So we start up some arrays, whatever those are, punch a hole in the abyss, and then fly through?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, Cal. We're coming in.
We're close to finishing this. One way or another.
Yeah. I keep thinking about what happened on Nova Garon.
I know. Just don't brood so much that you lose your edge. We're counting on you.
Yeah. I understand.
We're in this together.
That's what's keeping me going.
What are you still doing here?
Just checking in.
Don't you worry. By the time those arrays are activated, I'll have the Mantis in top condition.
Thanks, Greez.
Head to the control center. I'll hold down the fort here and get the Mantis in shape for its final, next destination.
Empire's on the move.
It's only gonna get harder to avoid them, even on Koboh.
You've done all you can here. Crippling the Raiders? An incredible feat. But betting against the Empire? That's taking the long odds. And if you can't beat them...
What? Join them?
I didn't say that. It's just... you can't beat them. Nobody can. We all live in that shadow. More Imperials by the day. Looks like the party's over before it even began. Have you heard about the uptick in Imperial patrols, Barkeep?
Sure have. Only a matter of time before they're marching past the saloon.
And here I hope that things might actually improve with the Raiders on the run.
Hope's something most of my clients are afraid to order, and impossible to serve in a bottle. I've seen some long faces, but yours is still the longest I've seen in some time.
Am I that easy to read?
No, you're positively inscrutable. I just happen to be an expert. Now, what's on your mind?
I lost some people close to me. Wounds still fresh.
I'll bend an ear, if you're so inclined.
If it wasn't for me, some friends of mine would still be alive.
I doubt that. Most things in this galaxy are out of our control. What we can control is how we react to what the galaxy throws at us.
Good advice, Monk. I'll try to follow it.
You're a good man, Cal. Better than most who frequent this bar, though perhaps that's not saying much. Despite what you may think, the galaxy isn't solely on your shoulders.
Cal, I've seen so many stormtroopers in the valley lately. I fear the Empire is taking control of Koboh.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, not long ago, I would have argued the Republic was just as flawed as the Empire in its own way. But the Empire is not the Republic. And they are not just a nuisance. They're tyrants and murderers. I'm starting to think we did not win the Clone Wars.
Just stay safe, Toa.
You too. Some other time, okay? Cal, I've been meaning to ask. With the Empire everywhere, do you think Rambler's Reach has a chance?
Reminds me of something a friend of mine once said. One of the wisest men I've known. Hope will always survive in those who continue to fight. I believe that to be true. But things are probably going to get worse before we can make them better.
Yeah. But that does not mean I'm going to let the Empire destroy Koboh's history.
And I guess there's still hope, isn't there?
Hey. Hey, Cal.
How's it going?
I was just looking through the Academy's recent records. In the last few months, the headmasters have dismissed a dozen more of my colleagues. My friends. Guess the Empire got rid of them too. How can this keep happening?
On Coruscant, I found Imperial intel. Years of fighting. The Empire's just crushing more worlds. But you don't hear about that.
Information is their weapon. You know what? I'm going to try and get in touch with the others who were expelled. Maybe there's... I don't know, something we can do.
It's a good idea. You're probably not as alone as you think.
I heard back from some of my friends who were dismissed from the Academy. They didn't take kindly to being silenced by the Empire. And they're planning to do something about it.
Oh yeah?
We are arranging a meeting. Turns out there are more people ready to take action than we thought. I don't suppose you'd be interested in coming along.
Maybe another time. I've got some things I need to take care of.
I figured. Hey, you know what they say, though?
I have a feeling I don't.
Sooner or later, a charged hydron emulsion solution will find its way back to equilibrium.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Talk to you soon. I need to gather my things. Hey, Cal?
Yeah?
You are not as alone as you think, either.
Hey, Toa.
Hey. I've been mulling over what you said about the future of Koboh. I think you're right to have hope. History has always been wont to change course suddenly and irrevocably. Did you ever hear about the discovery of the Auric Cluster during the High Republic?
No, I didn't.
Would you like to hear about it?
Sure, I'd like to.
Xanath Otzian was appointed Republic Ambassador to the Auric Cluster, which had just been identified as populated. Several Republic picket ships had been destroyed near the cluster. It was strongly suspected that Auric civilization was spacefaring and warlike. Xanath was escorted by a contingent of Republic starfighters. Everyone expected a confrontation. Unfortunately, her journey coincided with the fall of the Starlight Beacon. She lost all long-range communications and was stranded just inside the cluster, separated from her military escort. She was discovered by a passing Auric ship and could not escape before it overtook her. And when she was boarded, she was met with a diplomatic convention bearing gifts from the riverbeds of Auric III. Had she been accompanied by a wing of starfighters, things could have gone quite differently.
Well, I'm glad things turned out well there. Not quite sure we can count on good faith from the Empire, though.
All I'm saying is that history turns on small events with unthinkable consequences. I don't plan to give up on the future, no matter the past.
I'm glad to hear you say it, Toa.
We'll talk soon.
Did I tell you my latest scheme?
Don't think so.
With the Empire here, thought I'd have a chance to turn a credit. Try selling useless scrap to a stormtrooper. I mean, how smart can they be? Turns out, very smart. He immediately arrested me, smacked my head with the scrap, and threw me in a watering hole.
Still getting into trouble, Turgle?
Not exactly. In the watering hole, I found a shiny rock that the stormtrooper is sure to buy. Hi, Cal.
Hey, Cal. Where's your buddy at?
Bode's gone.
Sorry. I know you two were close.
He's not dead. He betrayed us to the Empire.
Huh. Sounds like you're on the hunt then.
That's right.
Do what you gotta do. Just remember that vengeance breeds vengeance.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind.
Later, BD.
With all your expeditions, what keeps you on Koboh?
Even though I've been here a bit, Koboh is still a wild land. The Outer Rim is the frontier. So much is completely unexplored.
So it's the unique flora and fauna?
Partially. But another big reason is that on the frontier, you can reinvent yourself. I could be an outlaw, making a fresh start, and you'd have no idea.
Are you an outlaw?
You don't know. That's the beauty of it. Salutations. Listen up, Turgle.
You've got both my eyes and ears, Mosey. Honest.
You've seen all those stormtroopers around the Reach, yeah?
I sure have.
All right. It's only a matter of time before you run into them. And in situations like that, folks tend to panic and act a fool. Now, Doma and I have been talking and...
Say no more. With danger all about, what this place needs is a hero.
And that ain't you.
Agreed.
Good. Now, for whatever reason, Doma doesn't want to see you go belly up. So what I'm saying is, stay calm. And just try not to give him a reason to blast you. Consider it my birthday present.
The whole time I always saw us as a family looking for a home. But now, I don't know, I'm wondering, if you don't have a home, can you truly be a family?
The Mantis has always been our home, Greez.
Yeah, maybe, but... You know, come on, it's not the same. I know, I wish I had something uplifting to say, but I don't. I just don't, not now. I'll be here, Cal.
How are you holding up, Greez?
I'm so angry, you know? I don't know what to do with it all.
Yeah, me too.
Always something to do, huh? Seems like every time you're set to kick the grav ball, they pull it away. I'm chock full of regrets. The last time I saw Seer, all I can do now is hope that somewhere out there she forgives me.
I'm sure she does. No regrets, Greez. We gotta keep moving.
Hey, that goes for both of us, kid. Go do what you gotta do.
Afraid I got bad news, Cal.
Got plenty of my own, Harr. It'll have to wait.
All right, don't let me keep you. Oi, Cal, good to see you. Do these Imperials spook you as much as they do me?
Yeah, they do.
I'm just not used to this, mate. Sure, the Reach has always been dangerous, but this feels worse somehow.
It is. The Empire's a different beast. Just try to stay clear of them.
Breaks me heart to hear that. Guess I hoped I was wrong. Cal, I appreciate you sticking up for the Reach. Sure use more like you. Yeah, you too, little guy. Hey, mate.
The Empire's dreadful, isn't it?
Not the word I'd use.
Something stronger then? Reprehensible?
I'd go even stronger.
I didn't want to believe something so despicable could have filled the vacuum left by the Order. I'm busy, young Jedi.
I'm ready to talk, C.
I see. So, what happened?
Bode betrayed us to the Empire. We lost good friends on Jedha.
I'm not sure what to say. I am truly sorry for your loss. Remember, I am here whenever you need me.
Keep your head up. Tanalorr is still within reach, but we must not delay.
Cal, just in time.
What's happening?
Zygg here thinks we should leave Koboh, but I'm not so sure.
You were right. It's not safe here anymore. What if the Empire attacks?
I don't intend to live my life based on the whims of our capricious Empire.
What do you think, Cal?
I can't tell you whether it's safer to stay or go. You're better off if you stick together.
Yes, I think so too. We'll let you know if we decide to leave.
Great to see you.
Oh, Cal, Isn't it awful? I left Coruscant to get away from the Empire.
Yeah, I know the feeling, Winnie.
Now, all I see are those atrocious, though admittedly effective, stormtrooper helmets.
They won't come to the outpost. I won't let them.
I appreciate it, dear, but you can't stop an army. I despise the Empire. What they desire most is for us all to become the same. Faithful and obedient.
1,000 empires couldn't change you, Winnie. That I know. Let's chat later.
We've planted all we can. I think Master T'Pol would be proud of all the life we've cultivated. It took some time, but the garden's complete. Every plot's filled. Nice work, BD.
Jump!
Lot of chatter on the comms, kid. How you doing?
Just reached the control center. I'll let you know if I run into any trouble.
Welcome. I am Centauri Kree, the director of this experimental facility. Safety protocols require one person to remain here while the arrays are active.
Greez, unless one of us is gonna stay behind, we need someone here to activate the arrays.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll ask around. See if anyone's got a death wish. Maybe Turgle?
Maybe not Turgle. Purge troopers. What are they doing here?
This hasn't happened before.
for us. Maybe Bo told him we were coming. Stim BD? I'm okay. This looks promising. Not bad for an abandoned facility. All the arrays are online. Now we just have to activate them. Kree must have locked down the facility when they evacuated. That's not gonna stop us.
Proceed to the observation deck to initiate alignment.
Huh. You gotta hand it to Kree. She thought of everything. See, you made it.
Greez informed me you're in need of assistance, so here I am.
That's a long trip. Couldn't have been easy.
I might be 200 years old, but I'm as spry as a Padawan. Amazing. Oh, Cal, this is simply amazing.
Can you start the arrays when we're in position?
Oh, I stand ready for your order. It would be my honor to see Master Greez dream alive once more.
We're your master. Not a terrible view, huh?
You know, I'm feeling nostalgic. I last spoke to Master Kree 200 years ago. And yet, when I see her experiment lighting up the sky, I feel close to her once more.
I understand.
You do, don't you? Oh, Cal Kestis, not a day passes when I'm not grateful you pulled me out of that collapsed tunnel. Safe travels. And if Dagan Gera can chart that flight, then I know you can too. I'd love to chat with you, Cal, but Tanalor beckons, does it not?
Time to head back to the Mantis, buddy. And go through the abyss. I'm not thrilled about it either. It's the only way we're getting to Tanalor. I need to clear my mind.
Heritage ran out of here in a hurry. Have anything to do with those lights in the sky?
Z's helping us out. Monk, we're about to take off. Don't know when we'll be back. If we'll be back.
That sort of trip. I see. Well, you've got no open tabs, so I suppose all that's left to say is good luck. And come to Pyloon Saloon. And we hope to see you soon.
Catchy song. Maybe you missed your calling.
Never too late to try something new. We'll talk later, Cal.
You seem troubled.
I just keep going through it all in my head. I lost some friends. If I'd done something differently, maybe they'd still be alive.
No. When my planet was being invaded by the Empire, I led my family to an abandoned bunker.
it had shelter, provisions, a great idea. Until it wasn't. It was shelled. I lost 2 brothers.
It's awful. But you don't blame yourself for leading them there.
Never. That decision was correct at the time. This is how I choose to live. Now is not the time to speak. The Empire. So afraid of what it cannot control. Culture is our shield. But to them, it is a threat.
Like what the Empire did to the Wookiees on Kashyyyk.
So many traditions. Extinct. And yet, it might prove the Empire's downfall. An intelligent Empire would co-opt the cultures it conquers, wielding it against their enemies. This one is rigid, obstinate. When the right threat arrives, it will be unable to adapt to it.
Hope so.
Not hope. This is known. The only question is when. Sojourner?
Just like that. Far as I can tell. Didn't even have time to radio me.
Kriff. That is just... Oh, Kriff. We'll talk soon.
Cal, did you hear? That fool Grok got done in by an Imperial patrol.
Grok's dead?
He even told the old bastard to be careful when he left.
You sent him alone?
I thought he could handle it. He was just nabbing a fuel injector. At least the fuel injector didn't take a single hit. That geezer sure didn't know his way around a payload.
Yes, you and Grok weren't so close, huh?
No, this is what the old man would have wanted. Call it my bereavement tax. Come back later, yeah?
Aren't you upset about losing Grok?
Of course I am. Nobody knew the market like him. Where the hell am I gonna find a buyer for this fuel injector? Grok would know.
That is what you're upset about? What's wrong with you?
Oh, looks like the book found its spine.
You lost a friend, Dana. You do not have to just dust that off.
Go stick that crap in the jukebox, will ya? I mean, seriously. I ain't gonna let this bleed me.
Okay. Sorry, then.
Yeah. Leave it to the professor to treat a blaster wound with therapy. Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay. You?
Guess I'm fine, too.
It's all right if you're not.
Hey, don't get mushy on me. Do I miss Grok? Well, sure I do. I mean... You know what hurts the worst? The old man was strong, sharp, grumpy enough to curdle clear water, too. But beneath all of that, he actually believed that a couple of nobodies like us could strike it rich. Too many skeptics and cynics out there, Cal. You find a believer, you hold on tight.
I hear you.
How you doing? I'm getting pretty fed up. Folks treating me like a wounded bogling.
Doesn't help, does it?
Not a scrap. It's not like I've never been alone, either. Practically raised myself on an orbital mining station.
What was that like?
I saw a lot. A whole lot. My heroes were the spacers who ran supply contracts. They'd drop by for a few days, cash in, usually gamble most of it away in the sabacc dens. But they weren't rooted, you know? And it took me about 16 years to figure out that I wasn't rooted either. So I hopped on a tramp freighter, never looked back.
You got out. I'm glad you did.
You know, I'm glad too. I didn't get out of there. I never would have met the old man. Talk later, buddy.
Hey, Greez. You all right?
Just, you know, a little distracted is all. I mean, I'm about to fly freehand into a stellar anomaly with an appetite for starships. And I'll tell you, my palms haven't been this sweaty since...
You can do this.
Yeah, sure. I can do this. Oh, who asked you anyway? Always something to do, huh?
Are you ready to go?
Just about.
When we confront Bode, just remember, he has what he wants. He will fight to the death to keep it. Try not to die out there.
Say we catch Bode. What do you think we should do?
He must pay. But we must always remember that there are people counting on us.
You're right. Our friends. Anyone who survived Jedi. We can't let them down.
We won't. We'll speak later.
Oi, Cal. Think it's time I told you more about the old days. Got a moment?
Sure.
All right. I think it's time you knew about Tendo Gugbridge.
We're off to a good start.
Was Tendo sharp? No. Bloody idiot. Was he a looker? Well, people looked all right. Fella was uglier than a shiverpede. But old Tendo had one thing worth more than any of that. The bastard was plumb lucky. See, old Tendo goes and buys the worst claim in the region. About as likely to find a payday there as in your breakfast. But not 2 days later, that rocker blasts his way into a cavern crawling with priorite. Well, Tendo fills his arms with the stuff. Couldn't see the ground in front of him. Poor fool stepped right on his detonite charge pack. The blast turned his bones inside out. How we all shared in the spoils. So much priorite, the whole bloody outpost didn't have to work for a month. But we all knew it was Tendo and his lucky tailbone that got us the first big find. Oi, Cal. Good to see you. Got time for another story, Cal?
Let's do it.
All right. When I was a few years younger than you, I was working the dredgers not far from the outpost. Well, kid, I wasn't thrilled, was I? Those machines were blasted nightmares to operate. Anyways, there I was, when suddenly one machine starts screeching. Must have hit something awful, I think. I get closer to shut it off, and would you believe it, the ground beneath me gives out. I go tumbling down and find myself in a pitch-black cavern. Couldn't see my hand in front of my face. Next thing I know, I swear I hear roaring, carried by this unnatural warm wind. Horrific. I start shouting my bloody head off, and luckily old No-Boots Courser finds me and tosses me a synth rope. Back at the outpost, Doma tells me that a crew of smugglers lost a shipment of juvenile rancors in that fool cave. Can you believe it? A bloody rancor pack living under our very feet.
I'd believe it.
I know, I'm just a local cut-up, but I've seen things. Things that'd turn your breakfast in your belly. Oi, Cal. Good to see you. I've another tale for you, mate. Got a moment?
Yeah?
I reckon you're ready to hear the big yarn. The mystery nobody's cracked.
Sounds like a good one.
15 years ago, some marauders from the Inner Rim come to Koboh. They demand half of all our exports in exchange for protection. Well, we all have a meeting that night to decide what to do. Some says we ought to do as they says and hide the exports. Doma says, no way. I'll meet with them and we'll do this right. We all think she's crazy, mind. Next morning, she meets with the marauders alone, if you can believe it. Not half an hour later, they walk out of the Reach, looking like they found a ghost in their Navi computer. Before lunchtime, they're blazing sky trails. Never hear from them again. Now, the mystery. What the bloody hell did she say to him? I'd kill to know.
No kidding. I can't imagine.
Try sitting on that riddle for half a lifetime. Talk later?
Keep your eyes out for the Empire.
Don't you got stuff to do?